Hello, everyone. My name is David Gerlinger. I'm the Scholarly Communication Librarian at Touro University Cross River campus. With me today is Sara Tabai, who is the Library Information Literacy Director. Today we wanted to talk about having the AI talk, discussing AI with your students. So I wanted to start today with some assumptions about AI. It's pretty clear at this point that AI is here to stay. I don't think there's much argument on that topic. It's also clear that many students are already using AI, whether in class or outside of it. However, we cannot assume that just because students are using AI that they understand it. We also can't assume that they know the dangers of using AI. That includes things like plagiarism, whether intentional or not. That includes privacy concerns involved with giving your data over to big tech companies. We can't assume they know how to use AI to enhance their learning rather than undercutting what you're trying to teach them. And we can't assume that they know that AI can create misinformation. People are confused about that very subject. Here's something I've been hearing a lot lately. I've been hearing, I want my students to learn to use AI as a tool. That's great. I think that's a wonderful sentiment. My question for you would be, what does that mean specifically within the context of your classroom, right? What does it mean specifically for your class, for your assignments, for your students? Well, there's no simple answer to this question, right? There's no universal answer to it. But I think regardless, the first step is going to be having the AI talk, right? I don't think there's a bad way to really discuss this with your students. I think the only really wrong choice here is not talking about it at all. If we discuss AI, if we talk about AI with our students, we can help them think more critically about AI, and we can help them, hopefully, use it in more productive ways, and probably in ways that they had never considered using it. So there's two big things we think it's important for you to discuss with your students. One is the appropriate and inappropriate uses of AI. And two is how you want your students to acknowledge or cite their use of AI. So we'll break these two things down. And first up is the appropriate and inappropriate uses of AI. The key thing here is to be specific. Clearly, we don't want AI to do all a student's work for them, right? If that's the case, then what work do you want it to do and not to do, right? Why? You can lay this out in plain language and make it much clearer for students. You can make a clear policy on this and put it in the syllabus, put it in assignment notes, put it in some instructions, discuss it with your students directly. It's important to think about the uses of AI clearly because there are so many potential uses, right? AI can act as a brainstormer. It can help with paper topics, help you think of titles, help you reorganize outlines, help you make presentations. It can help with editing. It can help with word changes, tonal shifts, grammar checking. At this point, things like Grammarly, Microsoft Word are integrating AI in the near future. Grammarly already has it, in fact. It can help with research. It can help suggest key research. It can help with article summarization. It can help suggest journals. There's a lot more that can go on this list. I'm sure there are plenty of things you yourself could put on this list. So if you are someone who wants to embrace AI in the classroom, I think it's important for you to model the behavior you want from your students in terms of relating to AI. You can do this in part by giving example prompts or instructions, right? I don't think you need any special language for this. You don't have to worry about prompt engineering things until they're perfect. I think what's important here is to clearly understand the role that you want AI to play. And that in itself, that understanding will drive any language or any instructions that you want your students to follow in terms of getting the AI to play that role. Then just test it out yourself, right? Did it work the way you expected it? Did it not work, right? Was it useful? Did it do the thing you expected? And then another way you can model this behavior is to tell them how you are using AI yourself, if you are. Maybe you used it to help with a lesson plan, reorganize an outline, to help you think of a way to change the wording of a sentence or something along those lines. So here's an example broken down for you using the concepts I just laid out. So here it's broken down into what the allowed uses of AI are and what is not allowed. So I say, you are allowed to brainstorm general topic ideas using AI. And I give an example prompt. I say, I'm writing a psychology essay. Please help me brainstorm some potential topics. I'm interested in anxiety disorders, but I need some ideas. Great. Again, I didn't use any special language here. I didn't spend hours crafting this prompt. This is just something based in simple language that is derived from the role that I want the AI to play. I then say, what is not allowed? You are not allowed to use the AI to write any part of the essay for you, right? Again, this is a place I can explain why that is. And this is something you can discuss directly with your class. You can put this in a syllabus. You can put this in assignment instructions, any place you need it. Here I am testing out the example prompt that I gave in the previous slide. I just copied and pasted it into ChatGPT. And here's what I got back, a nice numbered list of different topic ideas. I thought this was quite useful, actually, and it did the thing I expected. So that's something I would definitely think of integrating. Okay, so maybe you're on the opposite end of the spectrum here. Maybe you don't want AI in your classroom at this time or on this particular assignment. Great. I think it's better to be clear, right? It's better to say up front, put it in the instructions, any of these things. Say, you are not allowed to use AI tools on this assignment. Don't use ChatGPT. Don't use anything else, right? This is, again, an opportunity to explain why. You can say, I expect you to learn this, and here's why AI undercuts that. Right? Again, I think the only bad approach is not talking about it at all.
So if we embrace AI, then we also need to tell our students how to cite, reference, and acknowledge their use of AI. Obviously, crafting clear guidelines and instructions on what you expect from your students and when and how they can use AI is important. But it's also important to talk to them about academic integrity. This is especially crucial in the age of AI, since first of all, we know that some of our students forget to read the syllabus and instructions, but also because some of our very good students may have even anxiety of being wrongly accused of plagiarism by the crime detection tools. And also because our students may not be even clear on whether AI is permitted in class or not. In a recent anonymous survey of 42 students, 23% of the students said that they are aware that using AI is allowed. 27% said that they are aware that it's not allowed. But 50% of them said that they're uncertain whether AI is permitted in class or not. So before I go any further, let me clarify the difference between acknowledging and citing. You ask your students to acknowledge any use of an AI tool for indirect support or assistance, like brainstorming or grammar checking. Whereas you ask your students to cite if there is any direct use of ideas, words, or other content generated by the AI tool. Depending on the assignment, you can ask your students to acknowledge the AI that they used. In the written acknowledgement, they explain what type of AI they used, they explain the purpose for which they used AI, provide the prompts they used, and also maybe provide transcripts of their interaction. By asking them to provide details about their use of AI, first of all, we promote transparency and academic integrity. The prompts also reveal how students engage with AI tools, and if there is any thinking involved, if there is any problem solving involved. Or you can ask your students to cite and reference the content that was generated by an AI tool. Here's an example of an APA citation. All the major citation style guides, whether Chicago or MLA or MIA, they all have published guidelines on how to cite AI. Your students can find all these resources and all these examples of citation guides on the library website under Citing Sources ChatGPT. And finally, ask your students to write a reflection piece whereby they talk about the shortcomings or the biases that they found in ChatGPT or other AI tools. If they came up on false or low-quality results, challenges or surprises that they didn't expect, and critically evaluating the outcomes, which is an important information literacy skill that will never go away. And also, it might be important to ask them about the appropriateness of the AI tool for the assignment. Was it even useful? Was it even appropriate to use it for the project or the assignment that they had? In summary, talk to your students about AI, model the behavior you want, and craft clear guidelines on what uses of AI are permitted or not permitted, and how you want your students to acknowledge or cite and reference their use of AI.
So thank you very much for listening. We put a few resources in the video description on YouTube, and we wanted to say a special thank you to Professors Carrie DiMatteo, Jill Ordynans, and Gena Bardwell for all their help in making this presentation. Thank you.